Have you ever stopped to ask yourself what the true meaning of life is? Perhaps, at some point, you have felt the need to understand what your purpose is in this vast and, at times, confusing world. This is a question we often ask ourselves, but we don't always find clear answers. In today's video, you will learn the story of Clara, a young woman who also faced these doubts. If you've ever wondered about the meaning of your own life, follow along until the end. Who knows, like Clara, you too will find answers. And if that happens, don't forget to write in the comments, "I found my purpose." Part 1. Clara's journey in search of answers. Clara was a young woman full of dreams, but at the same time, she felt lost in the hustle and bustle of the big city, always fulfilling commitments, working tirelessly and trying to live up to the expectations of those around her. She began to realize that something essential was missing. Deep down, she knew that her life wasn't aligned with what she truly believed in, and the more she tried to adjust to the routine, the further away she became from her own essence. At a certain moment of exhaustion, Clara decided she needed a break to reflect, to reconnect with herself and better understand what she was looking for. Determined, she decided to travel to a small village she had heard about. It was said that this place, hidden between green mountains and tranquil streams, had a special energy, capable of renewing the strength of those who, like her, were looking for answers. As soon as she arrived in the village, Clara could feel the difference in the air. The silence, calm, and simplicity of the people enveloped her like a warm embrace. It was then that she learned of a wise man, called by everyone the guardian of the mountain. It was said that he possessed unusual wisdom and was known for helping those who sought advice for their lives. Curious, Clara decided to look for the guardian. His house was on top of a hill, from where it was possible to see the whole village and the surrounding mountains. When she arrived, Clara was greeted by an elderly man with a serene look and a kind smile. The guardian invited her to sit with him on the veranda of his house. The surrounding landscape was breathtakingly beautiful. As Clara admired the sunset, the guardian asked her what had brought her there. Clara, a little hesitantly, began to talk about her doubts and anxieties. She told him how she felt lost, without purpose, and how the routine of the city seemed to suffocate her more and more. The guardian listened patiently, and after a few minutes of reflection, invited her for a walk in the forest around the mountain. As they walked in silence along the path, surrounded by tall trees and the gentle sound of nature, the guardian pointed to a majestic tree and said, "This tree, Clara, represents life. See how deep its roots are, seeking strength in the earth. Its branches reach towards the sky, seeking the light. We human beings are like this tree. Our roots are our values and our branches are our dreams. To grow and flourish, we need to take care of both our roots and our dreams." Clara wondered, absorbing the depth of that metaphor. She had never thought of life in this way. She realized now that, in her never-ending quest for success and recognition, she had neglected her roots, what really mattered to her. And without that solid foundation, her dreams had no way of growing in a healthy way. Part 2. The Guardian's Revelation and Clara's New Journey. The Guardian continued walking, and Clara followed him in silence, reflecting on his words. After a few minutes, they reached a small waterfall. The crystal-clear water fell gently over the rocks, creating a natural, relaxing melody. The Guardian looked at the water and said, "Watch this water, Clara. It always moves forward, no matter what obstacles come in its way. When it encounters stones, it doesn't stop. It simply goes around them and keeps flowing. That's how our lives should be too. Obstacles are inevitable, but we must learn to adapt and move on, rather than giving up." These words touched Clara deeply. She remembered all the times she had thought about giving up in the face of a challenge, all the times she had felt that the obstacles were too great, and that perhaps it would be better to take an easier route. But at that moment, she realized that challenges were not a sign of failure, but an essential part of the growth process. Just like the water in the waterfall, she too needed to learn to flow, to get around the problems without losing her essence. The sun was already setting, and the sky was beginning to turn orange and pink. The Guardian and Clara sat on a rock near the waterfall and remained silent, contemplating the beauty of nature. It was the Guardian who broke the silence, with his calm voice full of wisdom. "Clara, the storms of life are inevitable. Just as trees face strong winds and heavy rains, we too go through difficult times. But it is precisely in these moments that we learn to grow stronger. The roots of trees grow deeper precisely because of storms, and if we take good care of ourselves, we also become stronger with each adversity we overcome." Clara felt a deep sense of peace when she heard those words. She now realized that she didn't need to fear the difficulties that came her way. On the contrary, they were opportunities to grow and become stronger. The metaphor of the roots and the tree resonated in her heart in a way she had never experienced before. She knew that, from that moment on, her life would never be the same. At the end of the walk, the Guardian said goodbye to Clara with one last piece of advice. "Remember, Clara, that life is a journey, not a final destination. Don't rush into finding all the answers at once. The meaning of life is revealed little by little, in the little things, in the moments of peace, in the connections with people, and in the lessons we learn along the way. If you follow your journey with an open heart and willingness to learn, you will find more than answers. You will find your purpose." With these words echoing in her heart, Clara returned to the city. But now she was different. She felt lighter, more connected with herself and her purpose. She knew that life would still bring challenges, but now she was ready to face them with courage and resilience. The Guardian's lessons had transformed her way of seeing the world, and she knew that, like the water in the waterfall and the trees in the forest, she was capable of growing, adapting and flourishing, regardless of the storms that came her way. If this message has touched your heart in any way, share it with your friends, and in the comments, tell us about your own life experiences. What challenges have you overcome, and what have you learned along the way? May God bless your journey, and we hope to see you in the next video.